So, Marty, I would argue that Wisconsin, of all the states, is the most progressive in dementia supports in 2026. The reason I say this is because the first true dementia village is slated to sometime in late spring 2026 is scheduled to break ground in, I believe, it's Madison. I've heard that individuals in other states have had issues regulatory wise opening dementia cafes and other supports, so they end up opening them in Wisconsin because it's easier and more accessible to get the supports in Wisconsin than nearby states. What is it about Wisconsin that is making it inclusive and supportive for those living with dementia and their caregivers?
First of all, I hope you're right by comparison standards. By absolute standards, I think we've got a long way to go. But by comparison standards, we have an Alzheimer's Association that is very active. We have, um, community groups, church communities that are very active. And right now, our current governor, Governor Evers, and his wife are very supportive of dementia care and expanding that role. And so, yeah, we could say it's in the water, it's in the blood, it's all of those things, but probably just some people who could be in any state, so or province, just saying, "Wait a minute, we've got to do something," and they start moving out and they start talking and they start organizing and listening, talking to their legislator and so forth, and then that happens. So there again, if I'd have a magic formula on how everybody can be like Wisconsin, I would sure be willing to share it. Um, but I'm proud of this state, but we've got a long way to go. A long way to go.
If you had to give a message to um, politicians, whether it's Canadian, American, or wherever else, on what they or what you recommend that they do to truly fit the caregiver's needs where they are to meet them where they need to be, what would that be?
I think it would be to help the caregiver deal with this issue financially. And that would be special help so that there could be in-home help during the time that the breadwinner is at work to see if there couldn't be special help during the evening so the caregiver can get some rest and so forth. But I would just say that we've got to recognize elected officials have to recognize the toll that this disease takes on caregivers. Again, we get at the 40% number that die before their loved one due to stress related illness. We've got to have them understand that. And then also understand that by giving that kind of help, you're really saving uh, millions of dollars from what ordinarily would be having to be spent if the person would be in a residential community. So we've got to get them attuned to the fact that you know we've got to make this a higher priority, and it's so hard, child care, and people want lower taxes, and people want more highways, and people want this, and so we've got to get our seat at the table. We have to do that, otherwise it's not going to change, and there's going to be this continuous kind of inability to do the right thing.